colleagues. But great to see you all. We're heading up for another Photonics West, and we're very happy that all of you joined the event. Today is all about guiding you through all the information that's important to you, but also to give you the opportunity to ask any questions if you have any. So feel free to raise your hand and just join in the conversation. We're more than willing to answer your questions or are open to any of your suggestions. So let's just get started. Daniela was supposed to do sort of half of this presentation, but her voice well, it's not what it's supposed to be. So a bit less of Daniela today and a bit more of me. So for now, please mute your audio. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I will give you the opportunity to ask your question. You can also always type comments in the chat if you want that, and we will immediately answer those as well. And as said, you will receive a recording after the Townhall is finished. You'll probably receive a mail either somewhere today or tomorrow. So from PhotonicsNL and PhotonDelta are the co-organizers of this event. We do this together, and we have done this for the last couple of years. And as you might know, we also collaborate on other events. We recently did ECOG together. We are also preparing for Laser the Photonics next year. Another Holland Pavilion we are organizing is OFC, but there PhotonDelta will play the main role, and PhotonicsNL will be less active as a co-organizer. So these are the people involved. If you have any questions, most practical questions can be answered by Daniela. She's your primary point of contact. She will provide you with all the information, all the questions we have for you. So feel free to reach out to her, but also feel free to reach out to either Evgenia or myself or Petra. Petra will be less involved on an operational level, but you can always reach out to her as well. For those who joined Photonics West or any other event earlier, we will work again with a WhatsApp group that's, let's say, leading up in the last final days to the event, and during the event, the primary way of being in contact with you. So please share this link as well with your colleagues that are joining Photonics West. So basic updates on timing, where to be, or what activities we are organizing, or last minute updates. That's what this WhatsApp group is all about. It's the most practical way of keeping you informed on any activities. So little agenda for today. We will of course go over the setup of the pavilion, what's needed from you to make that work. There are some other, let's say, practical things to inform you about: booklet, shipment, your badges, any activities we're organizing there, and of course your deadlines, which are important. Well, for some general information on Photonics West, as you know, it will take place at the end of January in San Francisco in the Moscone Center. Nothing changed there compared to last year. We're not sold out yet, so that will be one of the questions if you have any suggestions for other companies that might be willing to join, but we expect around 20 companies in total to join Photonics West, and that we will have a pavilion that's as full as possible. I won't go into this slide very deep, so most of you know what the audience of this event is, and also what types of programs there are. There are many side programs, so most certainly dive into that, because there's probably something that's interesting for all of you. Some of these events are organized by SPIE, the organizer of Photonics West, but there are a lot of side events organized outside of the venue, for example, by Optica or Epic or any other organization that's active in our field. So many activities that are very interesting for you. Currently, this is the companies that have joined Photonics West. There's room for a couple more, but already a great lineup, and it's great to have you all on board for the upcoming event. So some pictures of Moscone. The location of the pavilion is exactly the same as last year. So we're in the same hall F, in exactly the same spot. And the setup of the pavilion is, well, let's say 95% similar to what we had in the last year. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, but last year we had sort of an opening and an extra aisle over here. We skipped that for this year, just a cost-saving measure. But other than that, it's similar. There will be a central storage back here. And yeah, you've already had the opportunity to choose for a certain sponsor level, so that could either be starter, bronze, silver, or gold. And depending on that sponsor level, you will have a smaller or a bigger booth.
It's time just going back a little bit for the floor plan.
Yep.
We gain this year for SPI the corner there. Yeah, we don't have the corner the other side, but we gain the corner in the other hall. The corner there on the top.
This one.
Yes. Yeah, we gain that corner for SPI.
Yeah, that's an extra corner, but
it's the entrance, basically.
Yeah. So practical information, the event takes place on Tuesday to Thursday, and daily the opening hours are from 10 till 5, but Thursday they will close at 4. As an exhibitor, you can enter the venue earlier than that, so if you want time to prepare or set up any things, then you can do that. Later on, we'll dive into when you could set up any demo materials or things within your booth. So going into your booth, we will provide a central bar and a networking area. There's unlimited coffee, tea, and water there you can use, and also your guests can use. There is a central storage. Keep in mind that storage is meant for backpacks and bags, anything you bring to the event, but not for big boxes. So, for example, if you have any demo materials, they will be brought to the booth, and then all the boxes will be brought back to storage, and then on Thursday they will come back to the booth again to keep the storage as clean as possible and to keep room for, well, the essential things like bags and jackets. Please use it for that reason, and be aware that although we can close it off, it's not 100% secure. So don't leave any valuables there overnight, especially. There's no security on site to safeguard your stuff. So be aware of that. There is a little risk in there. In the last few years, there were companies that brought, for example, stroopwafels or any other, or mints or things like that. So if you have interest in doing that, feel free to do that, and make sure they are available at the central bar. Anything extra there is nice for our guests, and it gives you the opportunity to do a bit of promotional stuff. So there is some basic furniture in your booth setup, depending on your sponsor level, that is either a shared high table and a bar stool, or one you have yourself, or even 2 tables and 4 bar stools. And you can also order additional furniture. That furniture is limited to what Freeman or provider over there has to offer. So this is what we think you might need, and the options are quite limited, and the prices are relatively high. If you see a high table for 455 euros, that's quite expensive, but it's just simply what it is. We cannot really change that. So you are able to order this via an order form. It's a link that is shared with you, and you just simply indicate what you need. But it's important to keep in mind the size of your booth. So if you have a very small booth, then it's harder to put in a lot of stuff than when you have a bigger booth. If you have, for example, a demo column you want to bring yourself, you can do that. There's options to ship stuff to the venue. So feel free to bring a demo pillar, for example. What you cannot bring is roll-up banners, for example. So we make sure you have a very nice back wall based on your design, but bringing additional banners is not an option. So some other furniture you can order. A difference compared to last year is that we can integrate TVs in the back wall. We did that at ECOC as well, and our local provider, Case Smith, can offer that for Photonics West as well. So instead of a huge pillar with a TV on that, there is the option to integrate a TV in your back wall. You see 2 examples here on the pictures from ECOC, but keep in mind that if you make a design, you have to be aware of that TV and where you want to position that TV. So some details with regards to that extra furniture. I think the most important one is the deadline and some of the other, and that's 13th of December, so that's quite quick. Why is it 13th December? That's because after that deadline, the prices will rise. So the prices we are offering you now, now that's the prices we can offer you until the 13th of December, and after that prices will rise. Yeah, make sure you don't put too much stuff in your booth. You just want space to move and to sit down. Then there's the shipment. Daniela will inform you on how to register for that shipment. You have to indicate what you want to ship. And Farex is a company we've been working with for quite some time. They will ship the stuff to Moscone. It will be stored there, and from there it will be brought to our booth on Monday. And again, it will be picked up on Thursday. And if you are also joining OFC end of March, early April, then there's options to ship the stuff from Photonics West to OFC and then back to the Netherlands. So in any case, indicate what you need from us. Brenda?
Yes, Stijn. I was just wondering, we normally send the stuff to Photonics West, and then you send it to OFC and back to us. But is there also a separate option that, for example, we don't send anything to Photonics West, but we do send only to OFC?
Yeah, that most likely, yeah. That's not something we...
Yeah, I can say, Brenda, yes, is the option. So you cannot check directly with Firex. Okay. The only thing is that probably gonna be a little bit more expensive because they needed to ship with others, maybe, or just yours. But yes, it's about option to do this.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So looking at your back wall, this, for example, is a gold partner, and here you see the TV integrated. This design specific will be sent to you. So either you take into account you want a TV here or not with your design, and you can also move the TV to the right. And the same goes for a silver partner, either in the far left corner or in the far right corner. And for a bronze or a startup partner, it's always a centered TV. What you need to keep in mind with these two setups is that in front of your booth there will be a high table and chair, so your messaging should be as far to the top as possible. And since you have a TV, that's a bit of a puzzle. So just keep that in mind when deciding to use a TV. So there are some tips for design, but I won't go into that right now. You can just read it once we've sent this to you. So compared to last year, we decided not to have a booklet. Over the last few years, we made a booklet on a yearly basis, but we see little interest in these booklets, and quite some are thrown away after the event. So for this year, we will gather the same information, and we will make that available as well. Will be in a digital format. So we'll use a QR code that can be scanned, and we will provide flyers that can be taken. But there won't be a printed booklet like you know from us from earlier editions. So if you are interested in a meeting room, then that's something you can book via SPIE. There's a link here that brings you to the right environment to make a reservation for that room. And also please do that before the 13th of December. And if you're interested, there is also a lead retrieval option. So that gives you the opportunity to scan badges and gather lead information. So if you're interested in that, yeah, you can find information about that also in this link here. So maybe it's good for me to stop for a second to see if there's any practical questions based on the information I've given you so far. No questions. Okay, good. So for activities, we have a couple of activities lined up. The first one is the Monday evening informal dinner. So for everyone that is joining Photonics West, and even other Dutch visitors that are interested in joining, we are hosting a informal dinner. We are still looking into what restaurant to use. We've been to a Brazilian place that is next to Moscone Center in the last 2 years. We are trying to change that for, let's say, a different style of restaurant, for example, Italian. It's not very easy to find something that has a acceptable minimum spend. A lot of these restaurants ask a very high minimum spend, and then the charges for you are just simply too high. And we don't want a restaurant price where, let's say, half of you just simply cannot afford it, and therefore we only have half of the people joining the dinner. That's not the idea of having a kickoff informal dinner. So we're still looking into that, and once we know what restaurant it's going to be and what the offer is for you, then we'll let you know, and then you need to pre-register. We need to know which companies and which persons from which companies are joining this informal dinner. So that's for Monday evening. That's a nice way to get together before the start of the event. Then on Monday, in the afternoon, there is an event that's hosted by our colleague Jorn Smeets. Jorn is now our business developer in the USA, and he works from San Francisco, and he's organizing an event in Sunnyvale. It's in an old Philips headquarters. And the idea of this event is to bring together the local ecosystem as well as our own. And all of you joining Photonics West have the ability to also join this event, but per organization there is a limited number of tickets. So either it's 1 or 2 tickets per organization. What Jorn would like to do is also give you the opportunity to demo stuff, which means you need to pick up your demo materials if you've shipped them from Moscone, and probably the bus to this event, but there will be a central bus to Sunnyvale, which is about an hour drive from Moscone. Will also leave from there. So you come to Moscone, pick up any demo materials, you step into a bus, and that bus will bring you back at the end of the day, and that will be back in San Francisco on time to also join the informal dinner. I think Jorn has not joined the call yet. I have not seen him yet because I wanted him to tell something about this event himself. That's maybe better. So as you know, we also want to have a happy hour or networking drinks, and we do that on the Wednesday. That has been a good day so far, and for this year we intend to do that as well. it's not calculated in the packages. So what we need from you is an approval to do that, and our proposal is to have you contribute financially to that networking drinks based on your sponsor level. So if you are a smaller sponsor, your contribution to the networking drinks is lower, and if you're a bigger sponsor, your contribution is a bit higher. And this is our proposal for next year. So for the startup partners, that's 190 euros that will be added to your invoice. And for a bronze partner, that's 400, a silver, that's 600, and for the gold partners, it's 700 euros. And that's something we will invoice you after the event. Are there any companies that object this contribution? Is there anyone that yeah, for who this might be a problem? No, if there's no objections, then I would say let's do it in the similar setup as last year. And then another question for you is, what we have done in the past is organize sort of a pitching session prior to the networking drinks. So it makes sense to combine that, because it already brings an audience to the pavilion, and it's an opportunity to have a short 5-minute pitch for that audience. We are looking into better audio amplification, because the setup we've been working with the last 2 years, didn't really work to have enough sound amplification to be heard very well. But the first question to you is: are you interested in doing a short pitch? And let's say if at least half of you is interested in that, we are more than willing to organize it. There's no, if we're doing it, there's no hard need to be part of that. If you say, well, not for us, okay, that's fine as well. So maybe click on raise your hand if you are interested in giving a pitch during a pitching session.
Yes. Stijn, just a question: who will be the audience? Is it the people at the Dutch Pavilion, or will you invite special audience for that?
Now, what we will do is we will invite people for the networking drinks as well as the pitches during the event, and maybe also prior to the event with a social media post and other outreaches. But we will actively invite people during Photonics West, and also on the Tuesday and during the day on Wednesday as well. We will do a similar thing as last year with the bracelets, that we will give you bracelets which give you the opportunity to invite people to the networking drinks as well as the pitches. Don't expect any huge numbers. We will. This is something together. I think we can bring an audience that's relevant, but don't expect hundreds of people there. I see 5 people in total raising their hand, so
I would have to check that, Stijn.
Yeah.
I can't decide that yet.
Anyone?
And do you maybe?
Yeah.
Sorry. And do you maybe have other ideas or alternatives? So we're open and happy to hear if you have any other proposals. Maybe you saw that other organizations do something else instead of pitches, or in a different format. Would be interesting to know.
The question again, Stijn.
Sorry, what can I do? I can this week send a form, and then everyone can give it an idea, say yes or no, and I'll give it an idea if there's so okay.
Yep, sounds good.
And Stijn, in the past we also did a little tour to other pavilions of the German pavilion. Is that still on the agenda, or have we skipped that?
No, it's good that you mentioned that. So yes, we in the past we organized pavilion visits, and then we went to, for example, the Quebec pavilion and a couple of other pavilions. Since, what is it, 2 years ago, we've not organized that anymore. And the reason for that is that there was a real lack of interest from our side. We were only to bring, let's say, 3, 4, 5 people to those pavilion visits. So we didn't really feel we could return the favor when organizing a pavilion visit. And we understand you have other priorities, in the sense that you want to be at your booth, or you maybe have meetings or other obligations. So we understand that you might not be able to join a pavilion visit, but we feel that there was just too little interest to be able to say to other pavilions, yes, we will show up with a reasonable size delegation. So our proposal is not to do it, and it's not that we don't want to organize it. We would be happy to, but yeah, if there's only a very small group that's interested, then I think we should not.
Thank you for the comments. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm doing, we still have a contact with these pavilions, and they also, most of them, they also have the happy hours or the network drinks, and then we also exchange that invitation. So as soon as I have a day invitation, so we share that invitation also in the pavilion, and then we can join the network drinks, as they also can join our network drinks.
Yeah. By the way, I see that the chat functionality is not working. So if you have questions, please raise your hand. The chat is apparently not working. I have another question. So we have that informal dinner on Monday, but most of you will be arriving probably on Saturday, and some of you might be interested in already meeting each other, for example, on Sunday evening. We could simply agree with each other that anyone who's interested can come to a certain bar to already have a drink and meet each other. Are you interested in that? Please raise your hand if that's something you will be open to.
Is it possible to put all these questions in a form?
Yeah, for the pages there will be in the form, and this is something that is not doesn't require real organization. So it's just a matter of, if you're interested, then we will just pick a bar and say, okay, on Sunday evening at 7, feel free to join that bar. So it's not really a question that needs to be answered. It's just, if you're interested, then we're happy to do that. And well, the proposal is actually quite simple, in the sense that a lot of people from the Enschede crowd are going to a certain bar most of the evenings. So that would be a good central place to meet. And it's just, instead of being in your hotel room alone, you could join drinks there. Okay.
We'll just add it to a WhatsApp group probably. And
Yeah.
I think it should be in the form, because I think there are some other events from Optica and Epic that might coincide, and I think some companies might not send many people over. So we have to check the side events that we already signed up for.
Yeah. Okay. So a bit of information on that Photonics Innovation Day. Yeah, that's the event. That's what the Monday event is called. Is here on these slides. Once we have a bit more information available on the program, for example, and where to register the people that are going there, and what we need from you, or what we can offer you. For example, can you hire a TV? Can you bring a banner, for example? That's information we will send to you, and make sure you have all the information you need to join this networking event. There will be a program with speakers both from the local ecosystem there, as well as from our own ecosystem. So probably an interesting networking opportunity and a way to showcase what we are able to do here in the Netherlands. So important deadlines. The main deadline for now is your back wall design. Make sure you start creating that as soon as possible and have it in Daniela's inbox at the latest on Friday the 13th, as well as your orders for extra furniture. And make sure you have clarity on what you want to ship before the 22nd of December. So your booth build-up can be done on Monday. The pavilion will be ready then. And your shipped materials will also be available for you to use and setting up your booth. And if there's any need to dismantle or back up your stuff that needs to be shipped either to OC or back to the Netherlands, then you can do that from 4 o'clock, and you'll probably be done within like 1 or 2 hours, but you can do that until 12 in the evening. Yeah, that's already all we had from our side. Are there questions from your side? Brenda?
Yes, I was wondering, I received some mails from SPI regarding registration, a new registration process. If I remember correctly, last time we filled in a form with all the names. What's the way of working this year?
No, Brenda, you are making confusion with ECOC.
Oh,
laser
okay.
word. Yeah, for
Sorry.
Photonics West. The email that provide, if all the emails is correct, you receive an email from SPI to have your dashboard. And then in the dashboard, you can register your staff as you can updating your company information, address, logos. So everything is through your dashboard.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, this email has already arrived, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
so the
Ah.
person who is responsible, who sign in the form as a responsible, who receive this email. If you didn't receive any email from SPI, so please let me know, because I'm gonna check with SPI if the email is correct. Sometimes it's a typo in the mail or something, and then of course you don't receive that message.
Yeah.
The only two companies, the Mintries and one more company, the last one who signed, they have a problem in their website. I could not yet register as an exhibitor, but I send email to SPI. I believe then between tomorrow this week, everything is done.
Well, was that for me for New Origin? That you're...
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. New Orange
Okay.
in
So
interest. Yes.
I'll be patient.
Yeah, this week for sure you're gonna receive email, but I try Friday, I try today, so the website is still in problem, so I ask what I could do. So
Okay.
So what you might have missed in this presentation is a breakfast meeting at the consulate. The Monday event in Sunnyvale replaces that. So we, after a few years doing a breakfast at the consulate in San Francisco, we thought it would be time to change things up and get something that's more, let's say, content driven on the agenda, as well as finding a new audience to network for you to network with, because I think what we saw at the breakfast were a lot of the same faces every year, and now hopefully we are able to find a interesting and relevant audience for you. I have one other question for you. So as I told you in the beginning, we are also the organizers of a pavilion at OFC. That pavilion is sold out, but we are in the middle of a conversation with the OFC organization to potentially upgrade that pavilion. Is there anyone in this call that is interested in joining OFC? We have not shared an offer very widely, but now that we have a potential upgrade, yeah, it's interesting to hear from you if you might be interested in that. Christian, is that in answer to this question, or do you have another
Yes.
question?
No,
Okay.
it's an answer to this question. We are interested.
Okay, that's cool. I will send you the information right away, knowing that the opportunity is not open yet because we're waiting for approval of that upgrade. But if you could let me know at what level you would want to participate, then we could take that into account. Ellie, you have raised your hand as well. You have already signed in.
Yes, okay. That wasn't clear to me if it's an extension or if I was already on the list. Yeah.
You are on the list, yeah. And Stephen, you are on the list as well. Does that also answer your question? Good. And is there anyone else that is interested in joining OFC? Sedun, yeah, you're all also already registered, so great that you're joining. And Brenda, you are also already registered. Salma?
I would like to receive information about this. I'm actually not aware of this opportunity.
No, and that has not been shared publicly because yeah, we were simply had an already sold out pavilion. That was that's good news in the sense that we were not expecting that. But I will send you the information as well. I will do that directly after this meeting.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, it's Stephen.
Yeah, I think Stephen.
No, my answer was given.
Yeah.
My question was yeah, addressed.
Is there anything that you missed in this presentation? Anything that could be interesting for the pavilion for? I don't know.
Would it be possible to organize lunch for us? Because the lunch that they offer is really crappy, and you have to go out quite far, which is a nice walk, but it also takes a lot of time. So is that an opportunity, a possibility?
We can look into that. Yeah, let's look into that, and if we see an interesting opportunity, then we will share that with you.
Yeah, one has to eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
And
yeah.
it's crucially important, Stephen, because
yeah, I always go past a supermarket and organize my own lunch, but that's also a hassle. And
yeah.
So if something simple lunch could be arranged, nothing fancy, just simple sandwiches, but of slightly better quality than that they offer.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
We will look into that, and if we have an interesting offer we can make, then we will share that with you.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks.
So anyone that wants to ask anything with regards to OC? No? Then let's go back to what this call is all about, Photonics West. So this is all the information we have from our side. Everything will be shared with you as for the presentation, the recording, and any updates with regards to the restaurant for the Monday evening and for the networking event on the Monday afternoon. So I think if we do a final round of questions, if there are any, then we can finish up this call. Please raise your hand if you have anything you want to ask or contribute. Selma?
I joined like a couple minutes late. I'm just not sure if the recording is going to be shared with us. If you could confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
as soon as possible. Probably, let's say at the latest tomorrow, end of the day, you will have the full recording.
Great. Thank you.
Anyone else that has a question? Evgenia?
I had a question actually. And one of the feedbacks after ECOC, there was a question if we could all have the same lanyards. So if we could all have lanyards with the NL branding. Would you be up for that? Do you think it's something we should organize for all of you?
I'm happy to wear one.
Sorry, Joanna?
I think maybe it was you, Joanna. Maybe it was your idea.
Yes. That would be nice.
Yeah, okay. You can use, normally companies use your own, but we would like to offer the pavilion cords.
I like that.
Okay. Good. Then we'll arrange that. Thank you.
Any other questions? No questions? Okay, good. Within 45 minutes, not bad.
Yeah, so any questions, you can send me email, call my number anytime or in the commercial time. Yeah, so and then for sure we're gonna be able to answer.
Yeah, we really look forward to meeting you there in San Francisco. Yeah, the last few years it was a great experience. I think it's really nice to be at this event with such a big group of Dutch companies and Dutch people. So really looking forward to meeting you all there. And well, hopefully it's going to be a very successful event. One final thing, if you have any product news or collaborations you want to announce, could you please let us know, because we could be able to do that, to fit that into a press release. So if you have any important things you want to announce during Photonics West, please also share them with us, because we will create some extra awareness for that.
What would be the deadline for that?
I don't think there is exactly a deadline, because we're gonna create something online, not printed. So as soon as you send, we're gonna be sure that.
Yes, but if Stijn is referring to a press release, that I suppose that's a press release for the pavilion.
Yeah. So I think at the latest, so ideally also before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Then we can turn it into a press release. And start setting up a structure for that. And well, there can be some final last minute changes, but if you want to reach out to any relevant press, then we need to send that at the latest a week prior to the event. So
yeah. Yes, okay.
But the participant in the conference, some people gonna give a presentation at conference, so just send to us and then we include it.
Yeah.
Okay. No deadlines for this.
Yeah, so if you have a presentation, also let us know. We're happy to make extra publicity for that. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone, and let's see each other in a couple of weeks.
Thank you all. Have a good day.